Hello everyone, Charles from the Bible Unbound. And today we're going to take a look at the Church History Study Bible from Crossway. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Church History Study Bible. So this, actually, I kind of like this. I have the Spurgeon Study Bible and MacArthur Study Bible as well. And I like that they're taking some of the insights and knowledge from some of the historical figures in it. And this one actually has quite a few more. So there's over 20,000 study notes from historical figures, from a lot of figures in here. I'll show you some of them as we get involved into it. They have 12 articles by trusted scholars, glossary of historical figures. There's more than 60 of this passage in history callouts, book introductions, and a concordance. Now, this says it includes the writings from Athanasius of Alexandria, John Chrysostom, Martin Luther, John Bunyan, Jonathan Edwards, Charles Spurgeon, and even more. I mean, these aren't specifically each person throughout the entire, but they take the relevant sections from each of these famous historical figures and add them into this. I kind of like the premise behind it, and the presentation is really good. So this cover, this is a paper cover that kind of has that recycled paper feel to it, and a really nice, gold coloring. You can see it in the overhead. Voices of the Past, Wisdom for the Present, Church History Study Bible, with ESV, Church History Study Bible on the spine. But inside the dust jacket actually looks pretty well on this too. So we'll take the dust jacket off. The back was a little hard. Take it off and set this aside. So this is a paper covered hardcover. So this has that kind of, looks like that recycled paper cover, but with this really nice gold. It's hard to see in this light. Might be able to see part of it here, but it has Church History Study Bible and this nice design on the spine and the Crossway logo on the bottom. That looks so pretty. I don't know how much that'll come out in the overhead. Comes with one brown ribbon that looks like it is slightly more shiny on one side, but it does look like a double-sided ribbon. So as we open it up and get to it, we will see the very nice, I do like the color scheme on here going into the paste-in page. There's a couple of nice blank sheets in the front that if you wanted to use for notes, that would be pretty good use for that. I like it. So we've got a pretty clean presentation page, very minimalist. I like that logo for their Church History Study Bible. Good quote right in the beginning from Martin Luther. Take away the scriptures and you take away the sun from the world. It's a pretty good quote. Church History Study Bible. It looks like this was originally copyrighted in 23. Published by Crossway. Very nice note. So it's a 2016 text version. Normal contents. You've got the Old Testament, New Testament, and in the back you have the ecumenical creeds of the church. So the Apostles' Creed, the Nicene Creed, and the Chalcedonian definition. Looks like articles and resources, where they're at, supplemental maps, and the introduction. I say this on every single Bible and book that I show you guys. Read that introduction at least once so you get any ideas of any special footnotes. CSB has some special notes in there. The NASB has some special notes in there. And the ESV also has notes on how they translate things like the specific wording of God and the way they do their nouns and pronouns. So it's also good to read at least one time. So go into the Old Testament. So the book introductions, they're not overly verbose. They tell a little bit about what's happening at the time of the book, the time of the writing, a description of what the book is actually talking about, and any special notes that they want to bring your attention to. And as we get in right away, first book of Genesis, you notice they have some of these highlightings from some really unique people, like John Calvin's commentary, Matthew Henry's commentary of the whole Bible, Horatius Bonar, Edward Lee. So there's just so many nice nuggets and truth from a lot of these different people from history combined into one Bible. I think that's why they're trying to by famous people from the church, the early church history, all the way up to more modern commentaries from people like John, Calvin, and George Whitford. So there's a lot of people in here that some I don't know and some that I do know. It's very nice. Text is laid out very well, so it's a 2-column format with textual footnotes on the bottom and some cross-referencing on the bottom. And separation line between the text and your study notes. And the show through isn't really bad. There is some, but it's not overly impossible, where it's unreadable. I have had some that are completely unreadable in my opinion, but this is pretty good. I mean, you're probably going to see it more from the camera than what I'm actually seeing here when I'm looking at it. Jump ahead to a poetic section where they usually tend to show through a little bit more. So Job's a good example of a poetic section. So you can see there's a bit of show through, but it's still really readable. And the text font that they're using is pretty crisp, even in the notes on the bottom. Jump ahead a little bit more into the New Testament. Nice book introduction. Let us store in his minds his history is perhaps that might and well and hath our hour of need. Very nice. So they're taking different people's introductions. It's really nice. I love some of these notes. Some of these notes are really nice. Matthew, dear friends, do you know that the gospel is nothing else than a sermon about one person who's called Christ? From Martin Luther's Sermon on Matthew. I mean, there is just so much little hidden little tips and wisdom. I think this would be an excellent study Bible for people to kind of dip their toes into some different teachers' writings. Maybe you'll actually want to get one of the commentaries to get more of their actual insights. And as we go to the back here, there's some interesting little notes in the back as well. So as they showed in the beginning, they have the different creeds. They have the Apostles' Creed, the Nicene Creed, the Chalcedonian definition, and some more articles. Just wanted to look at history of biblical interpretation and exegesis, history of Bible translations, patristic era, the Middle Ages, the Bible and the Reformation, reading the Bible in a critical age, devotional use of Scripture, the Bible in the global church, a very simplistic table of weights and measures. So like when you get to the back on here, there is a next reading plan that incorporates some of the Psalms and wisdom literature, the Pentateuch and history of Israel, Chronicles and Prophets, and Gospels and Epistles. So a nice broad range, because the main reading plans that I like to use has a Psalm, a Proverb, an Old Testament, and a New Testament every day as it walks you through the Bible. And a lot of the times the themes match up between those, which kind of helps. This plan looks really nice, broken out by month and day. A author index and their time period and a little tidbit about that person. There are so many people. I was just touching the tip of the iceberg on there. A little composite from anonymous sources. A very nice little concordance. Concordance is pretty small typeface on it, but it looks to be pretty verbose. It's pretty thick on the concordance. Oh yeah, that's a good section of concordance right there. And a list of the publishing team. Oh, a nice little thing of it, that it's a lexicon typeface, 30 GSM paper, and the printing and binding was done at R.R. Donnelly & Sons. It's nice, actually. I don't see that in very many Bibles that actually tell you, where it was bound, and a lot more of the stuff that you normally have to get from a different information from the other manufacturers. Nice maps in the back. So these are the more like almost photoist kind of paper, and just color printing of the maps. Maps of Israel, Kingdom of Judah, Assyrian Babylonian sections, Israel under the Maccabees, under Roman rule, early ministry, into the back page. So all in all, I do like the presentation for a themed study Bible. This is more of a study Bible than, it's not as much as you would say like an ESV or an NIV study Bible, which, digs really deep into a lot of the subjects. But this does have a lot of the main wisdom and commentary from a great number of sources. That's why I do like the premise between, it's a church history. So this is people throughout the entire history of the church, from past to present. I do like the premise behind this. This is a very good little read. I do like the look of that paper. It looks nice. So with that, we're going to end this today. And as always, we ask you to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know if you like this sort of themed study Bible or any other study Bibles that we haven't shown you guys yet. Maybe we can actually bring this to you guys soon. So we hope that you guys have a good day, night, evening, wherever you are. And we hope that you will see us in an upcoming video.